Guys, my name is Ankush Gaurav and I welcome you to Con2 series. So this is the complete workflow what we looked at in the previous tutorial, and using this we also tried understanding the use of Tomcat Apache Web Server with any servlet application. So now is the time to understand how to use it along with your servlet application in your computer. So let's start. Guys, overall, these are the steps what we got to perform in order to use it with our servlet application. First, we got to ready our servlet application. Once it is ready, we got to start performing these steps one after another. So first step is to copy files of this servlet application into the directory where we have installed Tomcat Apache in our computer, because I've installed it here in this directory. So I would copy all files of my application into this directory. Then I need to look for startup file in this directory. So I would go into this, then bin directory of it. Once I find that file, then I got to click on it. So what this step is going to do for me, this step is going to start the server. So after this step, any user would be able to access my application through any standard browser. So once my job is done, I don't want any user to further access my application. So for that, what I need to do, I need to simply stop the server. And for that, I need to perform this third step. I need to find the shutdown file. Once I find it, I need to click on it. And what this is going to do for me, this is going to simply stop the server and ultimately my application. So after this step, no user is allowed to access my application because server itself is down. So the whole point is to use Tomcat with your servlet application in your computer. You simply got to perform these 3 manual steps and you will be done. But now I can observe a very slight problem with this approach, with the following these 3 steps manually. And the problem is, what if I feel like modifying any file or files in this application after performing these steps? Well, after I'm done with modifications, I simply need to copy those modified files again in this Tomcat Apache directory. Again, I need to start the server by going to the bin directory, clicking on startup file, and to stop the server, I need to again click on this shutdown file. And again, if I feel like modifying anything in this application, then again, I need to follow these steps manually. Every time a developer thinks of modifying anything in the application and then following these steps manually, that becomes kind of inconvenient job. So instead of this, if developers would be kind of given a button here within the Eclipse IDE, so that once they are done with the modification, they would click on that button and that would automatically copy its files to the required Tomcat Apache directory and automatically up the server. And whenever they wish to stop the server, they would simply click a button here within the Eclipse IDE and that should stop the server. So if such a kind of feature is provided to a developer, then the developer would no longer need to perform these 3 steps manually. And in other words, developers' efficiency is going to be enhanced. And that's what is today's tutorial's topic. In this tutorial, we will learn how to use Tomcat Apache server within the Eclipse IDE in an automated way, so that once you click a button, it should automatically copy all the files to the Tomcat Apache directory and start the server automatically. And then whenever a developer wishes to stop the server, developer would click on a button and that should stop the server. So everything has to be done within the Eclipse IDE. So question is how to achieve this? Well, that's kind of very easy job to perform, guys. All you need to do is to look for server step the way it's showing me here. If you do not find it, then you need to go to Window, Show View, click on Other, then look for Server option. Once you find it, click on Servers under it and click on OK. This will show you Servers tab here if it is not already showing you. Then you need to click on this link. No servers are available. Click this link to create a new server. Once you click on it, it will show you this wizard. Here it will show you the list of web servers which you can use with the servlet application. Because we want to use Tomcat Apache 8.5 version with this servlet application, so I would choose this first option, Apache Tomcat 8.5 server option, and then I'll click on next. Here I got to provide the directory where I have installed Tomcat Apache in my computer. So for that I would go to browse, then to E drive, and this is the directory where I have installed Tomcat Apache. So I'll choose it and press OK. Here it will show you the list of JREs, Java Runtime Environments, available in your computer. So I would choose here JRE 1.8, which is available in my computer, and we'll click on next. I will leave these settings in their default mode only and click on finish. Cool. So this step has simply made me now not to perform any of these steps manually, copying files, then starting the server and stopping the server. Now all these steps can be done from within the Eclipse IDE after this step. Now before I show you how to achieve it automatically, for this servlet application, let me talk about one more important point. Guys, after this step, you would observe a small project created by Eclipse IDE with the name servers in the project explorer. Now what exactly is it? Guys, if by any chance you want to change the default settings of Tomcat Apache web server, then all those settings can be changed by altering these files within the Eclipse IDE itself. So if you wouldn't have performed this step, in that case, if you would have wanted to change or alter any of the Tomcat Apache web servers settings, then you would have to go to the directory and change things in the respective files manually. Now after this step, even that is so relaxed. If you want to change anything related to Tomcat, that you can change here within the Eclipse IDE by changing any of these files. Now what kind of settings you would wish to change related to Tomcat in what file, that's something we are going to look at in the subsequent tutorials. All right, so now let me show you how to automatically run this application on this Tomcat Apache server. For that, all I need to do is right click, go to run as, click on run on server. Because here after this step, it will show you the number of web servers what you have configured in the Eclipse IDE. Because we have configured only one web server, Tomcat v8.5 server at localhost. So whatever servers we have configured in the Eclipse IDE, it will show you all those web servers here in this list, and you are required to choose an appropriate server in that list which you want to use to run your application, because we have added only one, so it's showing us only one. So I would select it and click on next. So here it's showing us this small window. On the left hand side, it will show us the list of servlet applications what we have available in the Eclipse IDE, and in this right window it will show us the list of servlet applications what have been already put into the Tomcat Apache servers directory. Now when we have reached this window, by performing the steps which I just showed you, Eclipse IDE has automatically put this servlet application into Tomcat Apache web server. That's the reason it's showing this application here in the right window and not left window. So here all we need to do is click on finish button. So once we click on finish, what that would mean, that would simply mean that this servlet application has been simply put into Tomcat Apache servers directory. See what it has done. It has performed two steps automatically for me. After this step, one step what it has performed is it has copied all required files of this application into Tomcat Apache server, and second step it has performed is automatically started the server. Now why is it showing me this error page? It's just because there is nothing in this application. We haven't yet developed this servlet application. That's something I'm going to talk about from next tutorial onwards, how to develop a servlet application. So once we start developing that, this error is going to be removed. So it will show us a valid output. Okay. Now to stop the server, all I need to do is to click on this red button. So to start the server, I need to go here, right click, choose run as, run on server, click on this option, next, and finally finish. To stop the server, I need to click on red button, which would appear after you run the server. That's that easy. So with this step, guys, we have completely eliminated those 3 manual steps, right? Now, one last important concept. Guys, when we would start developing this application, we would observe that this application actually needs certain Java files which actually are present in the Tomcat Apache files what we have downloaded from Tomcat Apache website. So in short, this depends on certain Java files which are present in this Tomcat Apache directory in the form of jars. So to develop this servlet application, basically we need to include those jars onto the class path of this project. Now question is how to do so. Well, that's kind of very easy job after performing this step. All you need to do is right click, go to properties, click on targeted runtimes option, and then here it will show you the number of web servers which you have configured in this Eclipse IDE, because we have configured only one, so it's showing us only one. So what you need to do, out of the list of web servers what it would display over here, you need to choose an appropriate web server option which you want to use to run this application. So because we have added only one server, it's showing us only one option, so I would check this and press OK. So what I've achieved with this step? Well, what I've achieved is this step is simply going to copy all required jars from this directory onto the class path of this servlet application. That's what we have achieved with this step. So now we have configured Tomcat Apache web server in this Eclipse IDE. We have copied all required jars from this directory onto the class path of this servlet application, this project. Now only thing pending is to start developing this application, which I would start from next tutorial onwards. All right, guys, a big thank you for learning servlet application development with me. If you have any feedback or any constructive comment, or you want me to upload any specific topic in this series, in the upcoming tutorials, please do post me a comment below the video or write to me on this email ID for all of your queries. Please like this video, share this video if it has proved useful to you, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel Gone to Series. And I'm going to catch you in the next part of this tutorial.